And I was thinking about something as we were talking too, along those same lines of needing multiple dimensions in something for it to be well-rounded. I think we've talked about two different types of things that fall in the networking bucket. We've talked a little bit earlier, we were talking about relationships and strategic relationships. And like connecting relationships. And then more recently, we've been talking about like true networking, which is little conversations and lots of high volume networking and how to do that strategically. I think you need both to really optimize a network. And this is something that we talked about with our partners. And I think it's a good topic of conversation for an end of the year, podcasting conversation, to be reflective of your year and to set goals heading into the year. I think in a network, it's important that you hone your skills for true networking, which is high volume, lots of conversations that you're trying to move the needle. But I also think that strategic relationships fall into like helping fuel your relationships in that network. And so what we talked about is being strategic, looking for both a relationship that cheers you on, like we were talking about earlier, that Julie was for me, just somebody that pours into you and really for whatever reason wants to see you win. And those are like gold. You can't really like manipulate those into being, but they are out there. People like that are out there. And so it's important that you recognize a person like that when they are doing that for you, when they are cheerleading you, when they're sending you a referral, when they're connecting you to somebody, being cognitive of showing a lot of gratitude and acknowledging that relationship. So we talked about identify a relationship like that in your life and in your business right now that does that for you. And then also, are you that for someone? And if you are not yet, be that for someone, and don't worry yourself about if you're going to get it back, in return. Just put some genuine effort into identifying, who am I going to be fuel for? Who am I in this network going to cheerlead and connect with no concern for why it benefits me, but just, I'm going to do that. And if you have those three buckets, you've crafted your networking skills and you're doing lots of high volume, mini conversations that are moving the needle. You're committed to and focused on seeing someone else win and pouring into them. And you're looking actively for who has like given you some referrals or cheered you on or fuels you in motivation, if nothing else. You're looking to them and you're inspired by them and you're learning a lot from them. Acknowledge that, be thoughtful about that. If you have those three pieces, you're going to drill down so deep in that network. It's going to be really fruitful.
I think we have a book right there.
I think you're right.
I think we need to write that book.
I think you're right.
That whole like kind of combination of things that you just described from my perspective, the thing that just jumps out right is the whole idea of giving without the expectation back. And to me, that's the most rewarding experience, is when you're able to help someone else be successful and to pour into them. And the most rejuvenating piece is when you're able to connect that with people and you bring a group of people together that all think that way. That's where the magic happens. Like the magic is in, we're all looking for ways to make the other more successful, to lean into what they're, focused on, or what their business is, or what personally would help them. That is the epitome of teamwork, right?
Yeah.
That's super, super special. And I really, really love that as a reminder to people, because there's an inherent need of thinking before they go in, what am I going to get out of this? That clouds that ability to think like that.
Well, before we were launched in Sacramento and I was just having like preliminary conversations with people, I had never read the book, The Giver. Have you guys all read the book, The Giver?
Yes.
I mean, it's what we're talking about. It's such a good book. I'd never read it or heard of it because I wasn't in anything in this industry or sales at all prior to this. But it was actually a loan officer who I was meeting with as a potential partner who gave it to me right there. And I read it. And then he was actually our very first lending partner in Real Producers. And then he bought books for every agent that we featured that next year and just signed them and gave them as like a gift with it. And it was very impactful for me to read that book and be like, this is the foundation of Real Producers. This is where I'm gonna go. This is the culture that I want to set from the beginning.